In the entertainment gaming space right now, we have people pissed the fuck off right now. And we'll start with Microsoft, which is getting a lot of heat right now. Right? There are accusations that it's acting like a monopoly after it announced layoffs 2 days ago of a ton of its gaming studios, including completely shuttering a few, with the most impacted studios being under Bethesda's banner and including Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and Alpha Dog Games, all of which had plans to develop and release new titles. And so this move has generated a lot of questions about Microsoft's gaming strategy, and also whether these shutdowns were to help offset the cost of buying up studios like Activision Blizzard last year. And that's amid other hiccups in the gaming industry. We're seeing things like the sale of Xbox's Game Pass. Those have really begun to slow, which if you're unfamiliar, it's essentially a subscription service that gets you access to a ton of games for a flat monthly rate, as well as the fact that Xbox is floundering, leading Microsoft Gaming to reconsider how it handles exclusive titles and making them available across many platforms in order to increase sales. And what's been especially frustrating for fans and former employees is that there isn't a clear reason for why these studios were hit. They were all working on projects and either recently had massive hits or had in the past. Plus, in some cases, such as Arcane Austin's Redfall, there was supposed to be a massive update coming up. Now with that, you could argue that Redfall bombed hard, so a shutdown makes sense, but it's also made amazing games in the past, like Dishonored, and it was looking to go back to those roots. But Tango Gameworks was far less of a mixed bag. They made the massively successful Hi-Fi Rush, which Microsoft even praised last year, saying Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations. We couldn't be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with the surprise release. And they were reportedly even well on their way to working on a sequel when this news came, shocking everyone. We've also seen fans critical of the optics of the layoffs, given Microsoft's recent comments. You have the head of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer, on record saying that acquiring studios is a good thing for Microsoft. And the company also argued in court with Sony that buying Activision Blizzard didn't make them a monopoly since they couldn't control the market. But these recent shutdowns have critics saying things like, why buy game studios just to shut them down? And going further, saying Microsoft doesn't buy game studios hoping they'll make money. They buy game studios to eradicate competition and build a monopoly because that's how they make money. This is also the reason why Game Pass exists. In addition to Spencer defending Microsoft's acquisitions to only then lay off staff, former president of Blizzard Mike Ibarra tweeted out a defense of his colleague and his decision, saying, I see a lot of shots at Phil over today's Xbox announcements. I get it, but knowing him as a human, I know this hurts him as much as anyone else. I can't speak for all of the leadership there, but I do know him and I do know what he is likely going through. As well as, but he's a good human and he cares deeply for the creative process and developers. That's my firsthand experience in working closely with him for 8+ years and knowing him for 24+. All of which did not go over well. If I were to paraphrase it, most of the responses were, fuck your feelings, rich boy. Don't care about your friendships when tons of people are losing their jobs. But more specifically, you had responses like, Mike, I have a lot of fondness for Phil and don't doubt he's incredibly bummed about this, but CEOs can handle some shots amidst people having their lives destroyed. Your sympathetic post should solely be directed at those who've lost their jobs. And Mike, I know you're writing this from a place of good intentions, but read the room, my guy. Historically successful studios are being shut down and people are losing their jobs to inflate the bottom line and make shareholders happy. Who cares if Phil hurts? He still has a job. I mean, even people at studios associated with Microsoft have shared their anger. With Dinga Bakaba, for example, the head of Arcane Leon, another branch of Arcane, tweeting, this is absolutely terrible. Permission to be human. To any executive reading this, friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment cultural industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them create value for you. Don't throw us into gold fever gambits. Don't use us as strawmen for miscalculations, blind spots. Don't make our work environments Darwinist jungles. You say we make you proud when we make a good game. Make us proud when times are tough. We know you can. We've seen it before. Right? And overall, there's just this feeling of frustration and anger over what's going on, which is also why instead of just vocalizing frustrations, we're seeing some now calling for a boycott of Game Pass. Because really, the only way you can ever get a company to do what you want, and it's never guaranteed, is to go after the money. But as far as if that's going to happen or happen at a meaningful enough level, that remains to be seen right now.